Welcome back, Dynamic Gang. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, welcome. We are going to get into Space Ghost. As you can see, I already drew it out on the shirt. The lead that I use is 8B. Now, this is the most heaviest lead. I want to say it's like construction. You know how carpenters use it. But you can find this at the art store. See if I can get close enough so you can see the... there you go. All right, that's the name. I'm a little bit different than the other artists, that airbrush t-shirts, a lot of times they like to use stencils. They like to draw it all on paper, and then they'll cut the stencil out, each part, and then airbrush it layer by layer. Me, I like to do all freehand. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to do it with the lead, and then I'll go into it with the outline. Like I'll use like a fabric marker for the outline, just because, I could go in there with the airbrush with the black paint to do the outline. But to be honest with you, I have more control over a marker than I would over an airbrush, and a lot of artists are probably, a lot of airbrush probably are like really cringeworthy about saying like, oh, I can't believe you're touching it up with a fabric marker first, you're doing the outline. But I mean, like, everybody's different, and I tested all my my fabric markers out. They don't wash out in the wash, and I do paint it with an airbrush. So it's just that when I feel more comfortable doing the outline in a black marker. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. This is, Space Ghost, man, like, just a long time coming for this, because I've always been a fan of Space Ghost, and we're going to get into this. So we're going to be using this fabric marker. It's a Tulip. It's specially designed just for the fabric. Let me see. Where's my... Okay. Then we're going to be using... I want to say this is the same... Yeah, this is the same as the outline marker. I don't know what size tip that is, but we're going to be using that. So, Space Ghost. Yeah, there's he came out in 1966. The interesting thing about him is he turns invisible. He got power bands. Not to be, I think Wonder Woman came before him, so I think there's a little stealing going on because he has power bands too. But yeah, he turns invisible. He has he could fly. He has stamina, durability. He's been in the game for a while. I've always liked Space Ghost, and I really liked Space Ghost Coast to Coast. If you never watched on Adult Swim, do yourself a favor and watch that, because it's really funny. The thing about Space Ghost is you can see a lot of like a Superman. You can see a lot of Batman. You can see I guess that's the inspiration behind him. I don't really know what the inspiration of why he was created and how he was created, because of course I wasn't born in 1966. But from all the older stuff that I used to watch, he was in the space. So him flying around, and did I mention that he could turn invisible? Anyway, he has like a lot of Superman traits mixed with Batman. That's how I look at him. But I really like Space Ghost. I've always been a fan of his. I like his suit. You don't see too many heroes rocking white, like especially back in the day. You don't see too many of them rocking just a regular white suit. They're either gray, or they're blue, or they're brown, or they're red, or they're yellow, but never white. Like, I don't remember too many heroes back in the day that had white, just white white uniform. So All right, I'm going to stop talking, let you guys get back to watching the rest of the video. It's going to be long. The video is going to be long, and I want to apologize for that. But, you know, you guys want to see me airbrush, and I go into what I've been using. So it's going to be a little bit longer video. I don't know if it's going to be 20 minutes to a half an hour, but, you know, I appreciate it if you watched it all the way through, because I did take my time to explain what I did use. If you guys want to duplicate it, if not, it's fine. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. So this is basically the outline, and then I'm going to go over it with paint with the airbrush. So what I used was, let's just show you. I used clamps, all right. Then under here, I don't know if I can show it to you. Under here, I just used like a regular canvas. One of my old canvases that I don't need. I think the canvas size is the same size as the regular paper over here. Let me see. No, it's a little bit bigger. I'll find out the dimensions for you. Actually, no. Yeah, it's the same size as here. So I'm thinking it's yeah, 18 by 24. Yeah, that's the canvas size. Yeah. All right. So for the next thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to be painting. We're going to be using the airbrush. All right. So you're going to need. I like to use a gravity feed cup. I don't know if you can see. This is. I'll just read it to you. This is a Awada Eclipse HPCS. Basically, this is an all-purpose, you know, like I showed you before. I got the, let me see, this one is for the finer detail. I really like this one too. This one's pretty cool. This one right here is for the finer detail. This is actually HPSB Plus. This is actually what I should be using to do the outlines, but to be honest with you, I have more control over, and this goes by experience. You know, I'm like more experienced doing like backgrounds and larger areas when it comes to airbrushing. When it comes to like smaller areas, I guess I need a lot more practice with that. But to be honest with you, the markers that I use, well, not really the markers I use, but the fabric markers I use is good. So we're going to color this in, and that's going to be the next video. Thank you. I'm finished with the finished product. This is Space Ghost. So this guy right here was from the 1966. Yeah, he's an OG. So like, subscribe, comment, all that other good stuff. Thank you. So to continue what I was talking about with the spray paint, I'm sorry, the airbrush, I'm so sorry. So I made a stencil. So like, so I made a stencil, you know, for the regular shirt and whatnot. I'm just going to go over what I was using. All right. So in here, all right, in here I used white, black, brown. I mixed the white and the brown together to make the skin tone, and then I went back over with just regular brown. I used, what is this? Wicked Yellow. This is Wicked Colors, and I think this is by, Kradex. Then I used red, Wicked Red, and then I used Wicked Orange. All right, those were the main ones. And you don't have to do this, but I feel like these really prove, you know, these are clamps for the shirt. I like to put it on the canvas. This was one of my older canvases. Yeah, I messed up on it, so yeah, you see that? So I would put this under the shirt, and then I would just clip these onto here with the shirt. All right, so that's that. Let's see. All right,
Then I used, oh yeah, I'm sorry. This is right here is a reducer. This you have to mix so the paint can come out not clumpy. Basically what this does is this thins out the paint so it could go onto the needle, and the needle sprays the paint. So if you get buildup, as you see that I was taking and twisting the needle, I was taking some of the, because what happens is the air dries the paint, so sometimes you get crusted on, and then if you don't clean it and then you try to pull down the trigger on the airbrush, as the paint goes everywhere and splatters and gives you spider webs or spidering, I guess they call it. I don't know. That's their terminology. You could always, the way I did it freehand. What you could do is you could make a stencil out of, let me see, you can make a stencil out of this cardboard, and you know, I would do about like 2 of these, because you know, it's just like when you do a screen for a shirt, you know, each color you would have to do a different paper. So if you're doing red, that'd be 1. If you're doing yellow, that'd be 2. If you're doing white, that would be 3. Then 4 for the outline, and whatever other color you have. That's another way you could do it to make stencils. You'd have to make 4 stencils. And then what I did was I'd use the glass bottle. I had a Cipher. Actually, you guys already seen it. Yeah, this is the Cipher airbrush. I don't really use this anymore. I mean, it's a great, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. These are pipe cleaners, so you can clean the inside of your airbrush. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it's not good to have, but in my opinion, I like gravity feed, and not instead of ciphering. You get more control, you have better grip, better handle. I actually put my airbrush in it's like a denture cleaner. You could buy an airbrush cleaner, but the denture cleaner only cost me like 13 bucks, and it does the same thing. And what it does is you could put it, let it soak in the water. You could put alcohol in the water. You could let it mix around and get rid of all that paint. We did use 3M blues. I'm sorry, this ain't 3M. This is Scotch Blue. So the blue Scotch Blue tape, this is for painting. So I recommend this instead of the other one, so it doesn't, especially, I never had a problem with this tape. And that's basically it. So those were the ones I used for the airbrushing. All right. So if you have any other questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll try to answer it to my best of my ability. Oh, and I almost forgot. Whenever you're done cleaning, in between, this is oil. All right, that you put in, you put on your tip of your needle. And what that does is it acts as a lubricant. So this is very important. I know a lot of people that don't do it, and that's why the needle dries out a lot. And so every time you clean it in between each color, I like to do it. You don't have to. I know people that just clean it and rinse it out, and then they'll just immediately go back into another color. But I like to rinse everything all out, then I'll spray it with the air just to make sure it's bone dry, and then I'll lubricate the needle, pull the needle out and then lubricate and then put it back in. And this is also good. This is Burt's Beeswax Lip Balm. Now the wax acts as like a protective coat around the threads, so you don't get air leaking, especially around the tip of the nozzle. So I put this on every time I clean. But that's pretty much it. Those are all the instruments I use to do the shirt. Let's see if I can go right over here. This was, excuse me. Thank you. That's Mishka. So that's the final product right there. And yeah, it's dry. Mishka, what do you think about the shirt? Oh, you're a good boy. Yeah. All right. Thank you for drawing with me, and we'll get into another one pretty soon. Thank you.